Hi readers, I'm Annie. This video we are going to be reading for 24 hours. Let me put a little caveat on that. I am not going to be reading for 24 hours completely straight. Nobody wants to see a sleep-deprived, grumpy Annie trying to read a book, okay? Trust me, nobody wants that. Hi guys, future Annie here. We had a little bit of a hiccup with the 24-hour thing. I have brought down the challenge to 12 hours. I will let future me explain. It is now a 12-hour challenge, no longer a 24, because that was just really unreasonable with life. I have downloaded a little app onto my phone that makes it a little bit easier for me to track time rather than just using a regular timer app. I've set myself the 24 hours. This is something that I've really wanted to do for quite a while, and it's more of like a challenge to myself to see like how much I can actually read, because I feel like some weeks I have loads and loads of time for reading. I get like 2-3 books read, and then like other weeks I have like literally zero time and I get like maybe not even half a book read. I have quite a big challenge ahead of me. I'm a little bit intimidated, I'm a little bit scared. Like I said, I'm not going to be reading for 24 hours straight. I'll be pausing the timer when I need to like eat, sleep, eat and eat. Let's go over the books that I have lined up that I want to be reading. So first up we have Bridgerton number 5 to Sir Philip with Love. This is Eloise's story. We've got Signs of Cupidity, where we've got this Cupid type character who finally gets to find her own love, and I'm so excited. And then we have Welcome to Fae Cafe, because I had to include something a little bit cozy in here, of course. So I have 8 books in this stack. I have no idea how many I'm going to actually get through. This is a huge reading goal. I'm mildly intimidated and I feel like I just really need to get started. I am 2 hours and 17 minutes in, and I am a couple of pages shy of halfway of Bridgerton number 5. I am loving this. It's definitely very different to the other ones, obviously because the other ones have been kind of centered around the social season. Eloise has been a decade being a debutante, I think. So she's kind of done and dusted with the social season. She doesn't really care anymore. She's just like quite happy living her life, and for the past year has been writing to Sir Philip following the death of Marina, his now ex-wife. She's obviously gone to Gloucestershire from London, which is a fair few hours, even by car nowadays. I think it's like 3-4 hours or something. But she's gone all the way to Gloucestershire to basically meet with him, to kind of work out if they're compatible to marry. He had all these expectations of her, she had all these expectations of him, and then they've like stood and looked at each other and been like, you are not what I thought you were gonna be. And I love it, it's great. He's obviously carrying a lot of baggage from Marina's death. Like, they just have very different styles to life, and I think that's actually quite nice, because you're kind of seeing that both of them are a little bit rough around the edges in different ways, and like they're kind of starting to like take the edge off of each other even without knowing. And the kids, as unruly and as prankstery as they are, I love them. I think they're great. I think they're a lot of fun. And I feel like it just like gives a very different vibe to this than the other ones in the series, which I kind of like. All the Bridgerton brothers have just rocked up and are now causing chaos. The audacity of the Bridgerton brothers knows no bounds. Violet Bridgerton having the wedding day talk will never get old, whether it's in book format or a TV series format. I will never not adore it. I am 3.5 hours in and we've literally got half an hour until D&D tonight, so I'm on page 288 of 370 something. I'm hoping to get as much of this read pre-D&D as possible, but I'm definitely going to be finishing it tonight. It just might be a little bit later than I'd originally planned. I am loving this, loving this, loving this, and I will check in with you guys when it is all done. I stayed up way too late last night after D&D to finish Bridgerton. I rated it 4 stars. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a really good time. I do always tend to have a look at what the Goodreads reviews are like after I've rated it myself, and I get why some people don't like it. Through some of the earlier books, you kind of don't really see her as like a main character, but she kind of spends a lot of time going, oh, I don't want to marry, I don't want to marry, I don't want to marry, which is kind of like the center point of her character in the TV show as well. So it'll be interesting to see how they kind of take it back around and make this happen. She ends up obviously getting married to Philip Crane. I don't really have a problem with their relationship. I think they're kind of cute. They kind of just like do their own thing. She's obviously like super outspoken and that doesn't really change. And I feel like that suits him quite well. Like they balance each other out quite nicely because he's quite quiet and quite reserved and is like, I don't want to get involved with things. I actually didn't really mind the children in it. They're quite funny at the start, like with their pranks and stuff, and then because Eloise has obviously got so many brothers and sisters, she's like, I'm just gonna get you back. Like, it's fine, don't worry about it. But then obviously she does fall into that sort of motherly role. I mean, she does love them at the end of it. So it was quite cute, it was quite nice. I wouldn't really say it was anything to write home about, but I did really enjoy myself, so I rated it 4 stars because I did love it. There was like quite a few bits in it where I was like, oh my god, this is amazing. When all the Bridgerton brothers kind of rock up, I really loved that. So I rated this 4 stars, and like I said, I was up way too late last night reading, so I started Welcome to the Fae Cafe. I'm currently only sort of like 30 odd pages in. I'm on chapter 5, and I love the way I said that this was going to be cozy. Chapter 1 is murder, so this is not cozy, but I'm really enjoying it so far. Like, we've not really gone anywhere thus far. Like, it's quite slow to start, which I don't necessarily hate because I feel like there's going to be quite a bit yet to come, and I feel like we're very much in sort of like setup. We've had like a little bit of world building and bits and pieces, but we've not had like a huge like exposition dump, which is always quite good. I am enjoying it so far. We're about to head out for a coffee, so I'm going to take this with me and keep going. It is 6:30 at night and I have literally done like 0 reading today. I'm not very far into Welcome to Fae Cafe. I'm on page 65. 24 hours is not going to be happening. I have brought down the timer to 12 hours, which I'm 5.5 hours in, so we are just shy of halfway. With all the will in the world, trying to fit in 24 hours into a couple of days is completely unreasonable for me. Life happened, and when I say life happened, I mean my husband offered me a trip to go get bubble tea, and I cannot turn down bubble tea. The goal is now 12 hours rather than 24 because that's just entirely unreasonable. But the like 3 pages of this that I've read today is going great. I'm really enjoying it. There's quite a few questions I have at the moment, but we're still like super early on, so I'm not too worried about it just yet. I feel like it's going to get very interesting because Prince Cress is very confused as to why his command that Kate Cole die is not working. So I'm really intrigued to find out more. So I am going to keep reading. However, tonight is a video game night because it has been a day with lots of walking and I just... Okay, so I am not quite halfway with this, but I have got to what I assume is part 2, which is the backstories and the front stories. And I'm kind of going back and forth with this book a little bit because it's funny in parts and it's kind of cute and kind of cozy, and like it just kind of makes me giggle a little bit, the way that the Fae are so different from Kate as a human, and then there's like all these obvious differences, and like normally when you've got like a Fae and a human, like she would go into their world and blah 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 blah, and it's like really quite interesting how it's the other way around. And you know, like he's desperate to kill her, but she's now managed to enslave all 3 of his assassin buddies to basically work in her coffee shop that is not quite open yet. So they're doing all that cleaning, like working on coffee, and she's literally just like sat them down and is like, well, I guess that you're gonna need to read like pop culture about Fae. So you know they're sitting down to read some SJM, and I'm really here for that mental image. The bit that kind of like kind of stops me from being like fully invested is when we're getting things from Cress's point of view. Like any time that he's got to do things like eat or interact with like a telephone, it's like he almost just like won't learn the word phone or milk. He calls it beast milk and seeing glass or whatever, and it's just like those little things which, like, yes, I guess kind of make it a little bit more obvious that he's not used to all this kind of stuff. It's just kind of annoying. It's first thing in the morning. I'm getting a little bit annoyed at like literally just that like one specific thing. If I could like change anything, it would literally be just that. I am really quite enjoying this. I think it's kind of cute. It's very interesting. I do kind of want to see where it goes next, because obviously he's now in love with her because of this enchantment kiss, and he's like, oh, kiss me, to try and like enchant her back. And I'm kind of interested to see where the back and forth goes. I kind of almost don't really know what's happening next. There's quite a few like world building-y bits that I'm like, I almost want to know what's going on and I want to like understand it, and I don't feel like I'm gonna get that explanation, which I'm a little bit sad about. I'm still really enjoying this. I don't really quite know how I feel about this because we're getting close to the end, okay, and no one's really admitted their feelings for each other. Lily has like called her out and been like, oh, like you kind of like him, like you're looking at him like you like him, but she's not admitted anything. He's obviously falling in love with her because of the kiss or whatever, and I'm like, I just feel like I don't really quite know where it's going. They've obviously got these other people that have come over from the fairy realm, from the shadow group, and they're tracking them and, you know, trying to get Kate. And Cressa said, like, there's no point killing her now. Like, it's not gonna do us any favors. And I kind of don't really know what's going on anymore. Like, the cafe is doing really well. The 3 assassins who are just, like, chuffed as chips, just, like, being there. She's like, you don't have to be here, and they're like still there every day, like coming up with new recipes and this, that and the other. So I'm like, is everyone just staying here now? I don't know, because there's still like 100 pages, nothing's really happening. So I'm very concerned and confused. I feel like it's going to be like a very typical last 100 pages, everything changes. 8.5 hours. I'm expecting to probably finish this around the sort of 10-hour mark. This has been a little bit slower going than Bridgerton, I think. But then I am going to be picking up Signs of Cupidity, 255, so it's like 100 pages shorter than this. We can at least get this one started. I don't know if I'll finish it in the 2 hours that we have remaining, considering this has taken me like nearly 5. We are going to get started on this one as soon as we're done. I love the way that I say I've got no idea where this is going, and I literally read 2 pages and I'm getting like so much explanation. Like, why am I so impatient? 9:47 and I've literally just finished Welcome to the Fae Cafe. I don't even quite know how I feel about this. I feel like I've flopped back and forth so many times between, oh, I'm really enjoying it, to what is going on, to oh, I'm really enjoying it, and back to like, I don't even know. I think we're gonna have to sit on this for a quick minute before giving it a rating. It's not bad. Like, there was a lot of parts that I did quite enjoy, but there were like some things where I'm just like, why is that the direction it took? My singular question for this book is like, why? Why did certain things happen the way they happened? I don't feel a huge emotional connection to it. I'm kind of sad about that. I really wanted to love it and I was like, oh, this is gonna be so funny and so cute and so adorable. And like, there were parts of it that were funny, there were parts of it that were adorable, yes, but there's just like certain bits that just like don't really fit. Do you want to give it a rating? Do you? I feel like we're gonna have to give this one a 3 stars. There were some bits that were good, but some bits were just a pass. With the last 2 and a bit hours, I am gonna be at the very least starting Signs of Cupidity. I'm not necessarily convinced that I'm gonna be able to finish it all in the time. Someone is desperate for cuddles and a play, so I'm gonna pause for a minute and we're gonna give you some love. Okay guys, it is the next morning. I finished the 12 hours. I'm on page 167, which is chapter 19. I am really loving this so far. This is so super interesting, but if you want to know what I think about this book, what's going on with this book, then subscribe down below and hit the notification bell, because I'm going to talk all about it in my March wrap up. So hit the notification bell so you know when that video goes live. While you're down there, let me know, have you read any of these books, or do you want to see this video again? I will absolutely allocate more time to myself than just a few days, which were already super hectic and busy. Once you start timing 12 hours or 24 hours or however many hours, you actually realize like how much time other things take up, like even just like the simplest of things. I know I'm a person who really likes my sleep. I spend a lot of time sleeping. That really kind of put it into perspective for me, that I don't have as much time to read as I thought I did. If you enjoyed this video, do let me know. Give it a like, subscribe down below. All of my socials are in the description, as well as the link to my own novel, From Feathers to Stars. So let me know if you do go check that out, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.